Today we are going to be joined by Smoke the Collection, the owner of that beautiful jewelry line that is created by the bands of cigars. I am moving my mic around, trying to get the best reception. So she's going to be joining us momentarily. Here comes Miss Stacy. Hello, how are you? Can you hear me? Hello, how are
Hello,
you?
doing swell. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I saw your IG. That's how I came across your page. How did you, first of all, how did you get into creating jewelry based off of the bands of people's cigars?
Well, it was a collaborative effort between my sister and I. Um, so my sister is a crafts person. So she has a whole room dedicated to crafts, and that's what she does. Me, I am a cigar smoker,
Okay.
and I'm in the lounge, and so I am in the cigar community. So every year, my sister makes us something by hand for Christmas.
Oh,
So in 2019, she couldn't figure out what to get me for Christmas, but she made a pendant with a cigar label. And when I saw the pendant, I was like, this, I've never seen this before.
mhm.
I've never seen it before. So I was showing my friends, and everybody was like, I want one, I want one. So that's really how it got started. A Christmas gift that she gave me in 2019. And we've been working on it for the last couple of years, and we just decided to bring it out on in cigar during Charlotte Cigar Week this year in April.
Oh, wow. Okay. So being that she's the crafty one. I understand what you mean by crafty because I'm not crafty at all. So when I see anything that comes with the cigar bands, because all my cigar bands, they just either they in the bottom of my bag or they thrown up on the counter. I mean, they just all over the place. So
Right.
how do you? So I see that when I looked at your collection, a lot of them have like I'm guessing brand bands of people's favorite brands that they've smoked.
Yes. So and that's actually how we got the name. We came up with the name Smoke the Collection because the bands that we use are from cigars that have been smoked. So my friends collect for me, the lounges collect for me. People who have actually purchased our products before know that if they give us bands, if they give us a significant amount of bands, we return the favor with something from Smoke the Collection. So yeah, so mainly the bands that we have are whatever people have smoked, and it's usually their favorite cigar or whatever they chose that day.
So now so she gave you a pendant, but I see mostly bracelets. So are there different are is there different lines of the jewelry, bracelets, pendants, earrings, or are you just mainly focusing on bracelets?
Well, like I said, we started out with the pendants, and but when we did the bracelets, it just really took off. So we actually we still we do the pendants, we do the bracelets, we do rings, and we also do lapel pins for your hat and your jackets. Keychain. People ask for keychains. Um, People ask for cufflinks. So we do everything at this point. But like I said, we started out with the pendants, but the bracelets just really took off, and it's just been crazy from that.
So what are you hoping that to open up a small boutique, or are you hoping that you can get put into the cigar lounges as an accessory that people can buy while they're in the cigar lounge?
Well, I would rather it be put into the lounges. We haven't really talked about a boutique, but I will say that we have a lot of lounges that reach out to us already. They want to actually wholesale and either resell the bracelets there, or they want their logo in the bracelets to sell in the lounge.
Okay.
So it's we hope that we can get them in the lounges. Again, we have a lot of, but we also have a lot of cigar makers that reach out to us that also want, they want to, they'll send us their bands, or because it's free advertising for them,
Right.
and it introduces to people their cigar, um, in just visually, but it also can, if you've never had that cigar before, which we have that. Like, a lot of people will purchase our bracelet based off of the look,
Oh,
and they have not had the cigar before, but it just entices them to try the cigar.
okay.
So yeah.
And so when you are making these, are they custom, or do you have like a stockpile of these bands, and your sister gets in there and says, "Okay, today is the day I'm gonna mass produce about 50 of them." I don't know, because I'm not a crafty person. I don't know how long it takes. So, like, is it a whole box of them sitting somewhere, and then she shuffles through to try to find the ones that match or go together? Or, like, what is that process like?
Okay, so that process is actually both. We do a lot of vending. Like, since April, like, I was telling someone that last weekend was the first weekend I've been home in a couple of months, because we have a lot of people. Whatever event they're having, they reach out. Will you please come and set up? And then, so we have stuff that we make, just off the cuff, or we say, hey, this looks good together. Um, we do like a lot of bracelets that have one theme. So we might have like a my father's bracelet. Every square on there is a my father cigar.
Wow.
So we'll either mix it up or we'll do a theme. And we have those for vending purposes, whatever we create ourselves. But we also do custom. So custom, when people reach out to us on social media, they say, hey, can you do, XYZ? And we say, hey, there's seven. If you want a large bracelet, there's 7 slots on a large bracelet. Give me 7 cigar bands that you want to see in your bracelet, and we make them custom, all the time. So custom bracelets, custom pendants, custom everything. We still do the same. We don't charge any different. And those are the things that we mail out, daily.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, we do both.
So how long does it take to create the bracelet? Because they look very intricate. I was looking online, and I'm like, wow, these are not just your, put some glue on it and get some little elastic to go around your arm type of things.
Right, right, right. Um,
'Cause I told you I'm not crafty. That's what mine would look like.
You know what? It just depends. I would say the maximum amount it would take about 3 days. And a lot of times it depends on the band, because we have to remember, and I try to remember this myself, but sometimes I don't. These bands were not made to do this. They were just made to go around cigars. So sometimes, you may get a band that's really glossy and it doesn't do well with the adhesive, or you may get a band that bleeds, you know, it may, the blue may turn into green once it hits adhesive. So it can take, we've seen a band recently here take about 5 days to dry.
Wow.
So yeah, so it just really depends. But there's certain steps, but we don't have to get stuck on one. We just get it to a certain point, start on another, get that to a point, start on another, and they just all have to dry a couple of times during each step, um, till it gets to its final step. And I'm the one who actually approves it, whether it's, hey, this is this is perfect, or nah, this one's not gonna pass.
So
So
what makes it not going to pass your final inspection? What happens that it doesn't pass final inspection?
okay, there's a couple things that can happen. One thing is that sometimes during the drying, they will slide a little. They'll slide on their own. Like sometimes she will have to get up like in the middle of the night just to check it, to check them. Some of them, and she has a list of. There's a list of which ones will slide, and
Wow.
so yeah,
Now that's a crafter.
right. You know, so there's a list of which ones will slide or bleed. So and so that might be something. Or there's also a lot of people now, they want their logos, like I said before, not just cigar lounges, but people who have whatever business they have. They want their logo, and we're not professional logo printers.
Mhm.
So you know, but I like to try to get it as close to the logo as I can. So we ask for the actual logo file.
Mhm.
But still, again, sometimes those colors that may be that they have in that logo may not show as bright as it does when we print it.
Right.
So um, that's the logos can be a challenge, but as long as we get it near perfect, I'm fine with it.
Okay. So when you both first started out making the bracelets and the pendants, did you know which ones were going to bleed through or not be as great as, as they look when they're on the cigar? Or was it you started and you was like, oh shit, this ain't working?
Yeah, we still finding out which ones don't work. Like, no, we didn't know. It's just trial and error. Like we would make a whole set of bracelets and have to do away with them
Oh,
because we didn't. It was our first time doing it, and we didn't know that they were going to bleed. Or like, there's some logos that have a lot of gold in it,
mhm,
and that gold will sometimes not act right with the adhesive, or it'll rub off, or um, it just will not do right. And so
mhm.
that's why I say we have to remember they wasn't made to do this anyway.
Right.
So, but sometimes, so we've gotten a little crafty with it. We've had to make improvements, like at least a couple times a month. We've discovered, hey, we can, in order to stop this, we can do this. Yeah, yeah. So it is trial and error, but we still won't sell it or get it to whoever asked for it until we think it's perfect.
I'm assuming that both of you have 9 to 5 jobs.
Definitely.
So how are you finding the time? Like you said, this is the first time you've been home in a couple of months. So how are you finding the time? How are you balancing your everyday 9 to 5 with this? I don't want to say hobby, but I want to say your other job.
Right. Well, we're both finding out that PTO is very important. Um, for me, I work 4 10-hour days.
Okay.
So I'm off on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And those are the days that I leave probably on a Thursday and I come back on a Sunday. So we and my sister, she's been in her job for, I always say this word 5,000. It's really not 5,000, but she's been on her job 5,000
Forever.
years. Yeah. And she's a VP at her company. So she has plenty of time built up. So we try to work around the time, but also we will try to split our time. We started doing something by the suggestion of somebody, not even thinking that we needed to do this, but um, sometimes we get requests to come and set up several different events going on the same day.
Hmm.
And we would just say, hey, we can't make it. We would tell one person we can't make it and go to the other place. Here recently, we had an invite to New York, we had an invite to Virginia, and we had an invite to Greenville, and we're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we were all set to. We, in fact, we had told two of them we wasn't going to make it,
Mm-hmm.
but the week before that, someone said, "Hey, pretty soon you guys are going to get to the point where you're going to have to split up." And so I went to my sister. I said, "Hey, we got 3 invites this weekend. We had a suggestion to split up. Let's do it."
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Virginia, and she went to Greenville.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it worked out really good. We never even thought to do that for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, but we try to split our time up and try to do it a little wisely. But PTO, we've learned, is very, very beneficial.
So now, when you do these events, do you how is the word getting out about your events? Okay, you're in North Carolina, so I'm in Maryland. So how would you go about? How would I know? I know about you because I saw you on IG, but how would you get the information out about your products to somebody up here in the DC area? Do you have a street team somewhere or a social media team somewhere that you say, hey, I'm gonna send you 5 bracelets, go out to this, I see an event going on, go
Right.
go tell them, go tell the masses about us.
Well, of course, we have social media, but the good thing about when we launched, it was Charlotte Cigar Week. So
Oh.
people came from all over, and I, literally was like, hey, I think I'm gonna try this out and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so we vended on a Wednesday for the first time, and it was crazy. I mean, it was more than we thought it was gonna be. And so by the time we vended again on that Saturday, people came to the table and said, "Hey, we have been looking for you."
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, "Really?" It's like, so from Wednesday, it just blew up from that first Wednesday. But also, um, and there's a guy, one of my friends, his name is Tony Beatty. He travels for his job, and every week uh he takes a good bit of the cigar, not cigars. He takes my bracelets, and they go with him whatever state he's in, and he visits the lounge every single day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Now,
so
see, that's a good friend.
that
That's the
definitely.
kind of friend that you need that's going to support you. Now, have you come up against anyone saying, you know what, it's all cute and good and all that, but you ain't gonna really make a whole lot of money doing this? Like, what would you say to those people?
Well, I would say that the proof is in the pudding. I mean, we have fared very well since April. Not enough to leave our jobs, but we have fared really well. Everybody is asking for us to come. We get a lot of, again, I tell this story all the time. We get calls 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, you're actually you a bracelet is on your mind at
At
three
five
and
o'clock.
5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, wow, like I'm just okay.
Right.
What you need, So, but yeah, it's but the cigar makers themselves have really gotten behind us. 100%. Like that's what I was worried about in the beginning, like how they would feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but everybody has been so gracious. Again, even sending us bands. They always comment on my Instagram posts, and just telling us thank you,
Mm-hmm.
for advertising and everything. So it's been great. And when I go to set up places, if there's been vendors in the city that will come and introduce themselves, and it's just been amazing.
So, do you have any events coming up? I know it's October, kind of late in the year. There are still some cigar weeks happening, but do you have any upcoming events? That you're saying, yes, I have to be there.
Well, this one is not actually an event, but it is on this Sunday, I'll be going to Atlanta for a radio interview with 92.3 in
Wow.
Atlanta. Yeah. So I have a radio interview Sunday. We do have an event. The Birmingham Cigar Festival is October 21st and 22nd. It's their first cigar festival ever.
Wow.
Yeah, and it is put on by all women.
Ooh.
But yep, all women, and but everyone's invited, of course. So I was going to be going to the Oklahoma Cigar Festival, Cigar Week that week, but I'm like, you know what? Uh, I'm gonna go to Birmingham. My
Mhm.
dad lives in Montgomery, and hey, let's be a part of history. It's the first time they're doing a cigar festival. Let's go and support.
Mhm.
So we're gonna do Birmingham, October 21st and 22nd. So that's what we immediately have coming up.
Oh wow. Okay. See, if I live closer, if I didn't hate driving so much, I'd drive down there. But I'm the kind of person that if I'm driving, I got 3 hours. It got to be within 3 hours. I'm good for 3 hours. Now I'll ride all day long. I
All
will
day long.
ride all day. Now, okay, well, let me take that back. I don't really ride all day
You
long
sleep?
because the first time we stop for gas or potty break, I'm like, how much longer we got to go? So that's me. Um, so now on hand, how many bracelets do you keep in stock so that if you and your sister decide to go somewhere and you split or you're splitting up now, how many bracelets do you have, in stock ready to go? Like today, say I called you today and said, hey, I want you in DC on Saturday. How many bracelets do you have that you can say, oh, okay, you know what, boom, we there?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I will say, as far as the bracelets go, we probably have, I would say about 100 we have ready to go.
Okay.
The pendants, we have hundreds on top of hundreds on top of hundreds of the pendants
Mm-hmm.
because everything can be made into a pendant.
Right.
Everything can't be made into a bracelet, but pendants, the rings, we probably got about 25 rings ready. Um, so yeah, I'll say about 100 bracelets.
Oh, see, rings and a pendant. I think that's what I'm gonna need. I need a pendant and a ring. I think because I mean, as you can see, I love my jewelry. I love my jewelry, and I
Yes,
forgot to put the matching ring on to this. I like matching sets because it's all about for women, it's all about accessories. But I see that men have gotten into the bracelets as well too.
yes, a lot of men, and we sell the round bracelets as well. The round ones, I don't know if you can see it, but I was like, I try to make everything unisex. So I wasn't sure how the men was gonna if they were gonna rock the round ones, but we get a lot of men that wear the round bracelets as well. But I don't know. I feel like it's been a even kill as far as men and women both wearing the bracelets. Um, the men may outweigh the women on these bracelets at this point, though.
Wow. Wow. I
Yeah,
mean, men like to accessorize too. And I don't think they call it accessorize. I don't think they use that term. But but
right.
they like their outfits to be put together as well too. So
No doubt.
where do you see this going? What is your hope for the future for a year from now? What do you hope to be doing with this line a year from now?
Well, we have a major, and I can't say who it is right now, but we do have a major cigar brand that is wanting to partner with us, um, and with their whole VIP members that they have. So they want to start out with like 200 bracelets um, for their VIP members, And so we kind of want to partner. We want to start partnering with the cigar makers
Mm-hmm.
and getting their brand out there as well as ours. There's a lot of brand. I noticed that depending on what state I'm in, certain cigar brands are not there. Um, so I can always tell what state I'm in by the cigar labels that I'm getting.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so for example, ATL Cigar Company, I get a lot of requests for their bracelets. Well, I'm in Charlotte. We don't have their cigars here.
Got you.
So, uh, so they have sent me labels before. But then also I'm in Atlanta a lot. So, a lot of my friends there will you know, give me the bands, or I'll make sure I buy certain cigars there because I know I'm gonna need them bands.
Right, right.
So yeah. So I see myself partnering with certain cigar makers, getting into lounges, a lot of wholesaling, which has really picked up on that end as well. Um, and I also want to partner, and it's the first time. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'll save it. I'll tell you on the back end.
Okay, okay.
Um, yeah, I'll tell you on the back end.
Okay. So do you reach out to the companies like you said that the ATL? So do you reach out to the companies that are not carried in your state? Do you reach out to them and say, "Hey, why don't we try to do some kind of partnership here because you're not here, but I offer a product that can get your name out there in front of these cigar smokers down here."
I have reached out to some, and also some of my friends have reached out to them as well. Um, so some of my friends in Atlanta have reached out to ATL. Some of my friends here have reached out to Hiram and Solomon, which we do care. We have Hiram and Solomon here, but there came a point where I think they had slowed down. So they were changing over some things. I met the Hiram and Solomon rep last weekend in Atlanta. I'm like, hey, I get a lot of requests for Harman Solomon bracelets, but I don't have your labels. And she gave me her card. Said reach out to me. So it's a collaborative effort.
Right.
However I can get them, I'm getting them.
Wow, I commend you for going out there again doing something. I don't see a lot of jewelry out there. I see a lot of cups that people put the bands around their cups. I see some ashtrays with the bands on it, but I think you're the only person I have seen with actual jewelry with the bands. Now, with the bands, one last question with the bands, you know how they come and some of them are like intricate and then the band is thin. Are you using the entire band or just the main section of the band?
It depends on the order. So if it's a large bracelet, let's say I have a large bracelet, which means the larger square, but the label is really not that big to fill out the square. We will use the main piece, and then we'll use the arms
Mhm.
of that to fill in like the top and the bottom.
Got
Um, so if they want a small bracelet, which means it's going to be a smaller square or it's going to be a smaller circle, we may be only able to use just that middle piece, the main piece of the cigar label.
got
But what we do is we'll take what's left and we may do like a ring, like for example, this is just a blue ring,
Mhm. My favorite
but it's
color.
right, but it's the acid without the word acid.
Oh, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay.
It's the acid without the word acid. So
Right.
we try to use every piece of a band.
Okay. Okay. I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm gonna go on out. I need me a pendant and I need a ring. And now that you done showed me the acid one, you already know what ring I want, right? You already know,
Yeah,
right?
I got you.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. So tell everybody where you are. I know you're on IG, but give us all your social media sites.
Okay, so social media is Smoke the Collection. That is Facebook and Instagram, and website is smokethecollection.com. And that's everything.
Well, and y'all heard her. Go to Smoke the Collection. Christmas is coming, people. Christmas is coming. And you know those cigar people in your life want something different that nobody around them has. I know I have not seen it, well, not in my circle anyway. Anyone with any Smoke the Collection accessory. So I'm letting you all know I need some accessories for Christmas. I'm letting you know now. I'm letting you know now. And I want the square and I want the circle and a pendant and a ring. So just get on the list, people. Get on the list. So I
Get it,
want to thank
everything.
you for joining me. Oh yeah, see people, see that right there. That's
See
I'm gonna
that
need
blue
that.
Padermo? That blue Padermo.
Ah, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. See, people, I'm easy. I'm easy. I'm accessories. That's what I want, and that's what Miss Stacy has for you. She has all the accessories that you're ever going to need. So y'all need to hit up the Smoke the Collection, people. Thank you for joining me today, and
Thank
I
you for
hope
having me.
you have a most prosperous rest of the year. And I'm going to have you back when around Christmas times, because we
Please
need to
do.
get these people ordering these gifts for the women smokers in their lives and the gentlemen smokers that want some accessories. So plan on coming back around Christmas to show us what you got coming out.
No doubt. We'll have it.
Okay. You have a great rest of your evening, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes, ma'am. See you later. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.